Liga Deportiva Universitaria de Quito, often referred to as Liga de Quito, or simply Liga, is an Ecuadorian professional football club based in Quito. They play in the Serie A, the highest level of the Ecuadorian professional football league. They play the home games at the Estadio de Liga Deportiva Universitaria, more commonly referred to as Casa Blanca. Rival clubs include Quito-based clubs Aucas, Deportivo Quito, Nacional, and Universidad Católica, as well as Guayaquil-based clubs Barcelona and Emelec. Liga de Quito has its roots in the semi-pro sports teams at the Central University of Ecuador, and was officially founded in 1930. They began making an impact in the provincial leagues, winning 9 Pichincha titles. The provincial success continued into the National League, where they have won 10 national titles, having won the most recent title in 2010. They are the most successful Ecuadorian club in international competitions, where they were the first Ecuadorian club to win the Copa Libertadores, the Copa Sudamericana, and the Recopa Sudamericana. They are the most successful team on the Pacific Coast in international competition and one of only 5 teams, Boca Juniors, Independiente, International and Sao Paulo being the other 4, to have achieved the CONMEBOL treble, winning all 3 continental club tournaments. L.D.U. Quito is the only team to win all 3 mentioned cups, one after another between the years 2008 to 2010, causing them to be rated as the best South American team of 2008 and 2009. L.D.U. Quito was additionally the runner-up at the 2008 FIFA Club World Cup. History, creation and early years. Liga de Quito's roots lie in a semi-pro sports team based out of the Central University of Ecuador in 1918, headed by Dr. Quito-They Moscoso. Under the leadership of Dr. Bolivar Leon, the club was officially founded on January 11, 1930. In the early days, Liga participated in a variety of disciplines, including soccer, basketball, athletics, boxing, baseball, swimming, ping-pong, and chess. The club's initial budget was about 500 sucres. The first team's players were students from the university, and had to pay for their own uniforms, medicines, and expenses. Dr. Leon designed the first uniform, placing its crest, a white U on an inverted red and blue triangle on a white shirt, honoring the team's beginnings at the university. Amongst Liga's first players were Carlos Andrade Marin, Oswaldo Masqua, Alfonso Ceballos, Alfonso Troya, and El Mono Icaza. In 1932, Liga won the first football title at an amateur Pichincha tournament. There was no national amateur league at the time. 5 teams participated: Liga, Gladiador, Gimnastico, Atletico, and Cleveland. Liga won all the games, and in the final match, played at the Estadio L.D.U, defeated Gladiador by a score of 4-0. Playing for Liga were George Zapata, Eduardo Flores, Alfonso Ceballos, Quito-They Gonzalez, George Valarino, George Naranjo, Bolivar Nato, Leon, Alejandro Davalos, Humberto Llanes, Humberto Fra, and Ernesto Guevara, with Bolivar Leon as coach. Liga would also win amateur titles in 1952 and 1953, before the league turned professional the following year. Beginning of professional era. By 1955, the Amateur Football Association in Pichincha had evolved into the Association de Football No Amateur de Pichincha, which subsequently organized a professional league for the member clubs from Quito and Ambato. The inaugural Campeonato Profesional Interandino was held in 1954. Liga won the league's first title under the management of Lucho Vázquez. The club finished as the runner-up in 1955 and 1956, before winning again in 1958 under Argentine Roberto Ortega. The club won 4 titles during the 1960s, in 1960, 1961, 1966, and 1967, and finished as runner-up in 1962, 1963, and 1964. Liga had the most successful run of any professional inter-Andino-era club, accumulating a total of 6 regional titles in 1957 and from 1960 onwards. Winning the Inter-Andino title qualified a team to participate in a tournament which crowned a national champion of Ecuadorian professional football. Liga first participated in 1960, after winning the Inter-Andino Cup that year. The team's 3 subsequent Inter-Andino victories did not lead to a national title. The club's best performance was a 3rd-place finish in 1964. Foreign players became integral to the squad during the 1960s. International players included Paulista José Gómez Nogueira in 1960, Chilean Roman Soto in 1961, and Paraguayan José María Ocampo in 1966. National success, relegation, and comeback in 1967. All regional tournaments were discontinued in favor of a single national tournament. Liga won its first national championship in 1969, 1 year after joining the new league under the leadership of Brazilian José Gómez Nogueira. Liga's ranks at the time included Francisco L.D.U, Bertocci, Jorge Tapia, Armando Tito Larrea, Carlos Rios, Santiago Elio Cute, Enrique Portia, and Ramiro Toba. Liga's victory granted the club its first Copa Libertadores participation in 1970, where it reached the second phase of the tournament, with L.D.U Bertocci tying for the title of top goal scorer of the tournament. Liga's success was short-lived. In 1972, the club finished 7th of the 8 teams participating in the Serie A. At the time, only 4 teams from the province of Pichincha could play in the top flight. As the worst-performing Pichincha team, Liga took part in a playoff match against the best-performing Pichincha team in Serie B, Universidad Católica, for a berth in the next season's Serie A tournament. Liga lost the match, relegating it to Serie B for the 1973 season, at the end of which the club faced a second relegation, down to the Segunda Categoria of Ecuadorian football. The club was able to gain promotion back to the Serie B in time for the 1974 season. After winning the first stage of the 1974 Serie B, Liga returned to the Serie A after 2 years in the lower flights. Liga's rise continued as the team won the second national title after defeating El Nacional. The success was followed by another title win in 1975, marking Liga's first back-to-back national championships. Liga's 1975 and 1976 Copa Libertadores participations saw the squad twice reach the semi-finals of the continental tournament. Key to Liga's success were players Polo Carrera, Oscar Zubia, Jorge Tapia, Gustavo Tapia, Walter Meso, Juan Carlos Gomez, Ramiro Toba, Juan José Perez, and Roberto Sussman, along with Colombian coach Lionel Montoya. Liga would round out the decade with a runners-up finish in 1977, allowing for another Copa Libertadores participation in 1978. In contrast to the team's good performances after coming back from relegation, the 1980s were a dismal decade for the club. Liga's best performance during that period was a runners-up finish in 1981, and a subsequent Copa Libertadores participation in 1982. Player Paulo Cesar was the top Serie A goal scorer in 1981. rise to powerhouse status. In the 2 decades since 1990, Liga enjoyed a period of domestic success. They started the 1990s with a national title, edging established powerhouse Barcelona. Before the end of the decade, Liga won 2 more national titles in 1998 and 1999. The 1998 title was won the year Liga inaugurated the new stadium, the Casa Blanca, and ended with an impressive 7-0 win over Emelec. In 2000, the club experienced a period of crisis. This crisis resulted in a poor performance in the National League, and Liga was relegated to the Serie B that season. The club managed to bounce back from relegation and won the Serie B in 2001 to gain promotion back to the Serie A. 2 years later, in 2003, Liga won the 7th national title. Liga added another 3 more national titles in 2005, Apertura 2007, and the most recent season in 2010 to bring the current count to 10, placing them 3rd all-time domestically. The 7 titles since 1990 is the most of any team in the period. International success. Prior to 2008, Liga had participated in 16 international continental tournaments. The best success in South American football at the beginning of 2008 was reaching the semi-finals of the 1975 Copa Libertadores, the 1976 Copa Libertadores, and the 2004 Copa Sudamericana. On July 2, 2008, Liga became the first ever Ecuadorian team to win the Copa Libertadores, after defeating Fluminense by 3-1 in a penalty shootout. After tying on points after extra time, Liga's Libertadores title gained the club an automatic berth in the semi-finals of the 2008 FIFA Club World Cup, becoming the first non-Argentine or Brazilian CONMEBOL squad to participate in the tournament. Liga defeated Pachuca by 2-0 in the semi-final match, advancing to the final against 2007-08 UEFA Champions League winners Manchester United. Liga lost the final, which was played on December 21 at Yokohama, Japan, by a score of 1-0. In June 2009, Liga, as the 2008 Copa Libertadores champion, participated in the 2009 Recopa Sudamericana against the 2008 Copa Sudamericana champion Internacional of Porto Alegre, Brazil. Liga won the first leg, played at Barra Rio Stadium in Porto Alegre, by a score of 1-0, with a goal from Claudio Bila. In the second leg, played at La Casa Blanca, Liga won 3-0 with goals from Carlos Espinola, Claudio Bila, and Enrique Vieira. The 2009 Recopa title was Liga's second international title, as well as being the second international title ever achieved by any Ecuadorian club. Soon after the Recopa victory, Liga earned the third international trophy in the history, the 2009 Copa Sudamericana. In a rematch of the 2008 Copa Libertadores final, Liga edged Fluminense with a better goal difference over 2 legs, by winning impressively at home 5-1 and losing 3-0 in Rio de Janeiro. On the way to the finals, they disposed of important clubs from all over South America, such as Libertad of Paraguay, Argentine clubs Lanús and VE Quito-They Sarsfield, and Uruguayan club River Plate. With the Copa Sudamericana title, Liga is one of 3 teams to have won CONMEBOL's treble. Liga achieved this feat in exactly 17 months, less than the other clubs to have done that. Additionally, they qualified to play in the 2010 Recopa Sudamericana against Argentine club Estudiantes de La Plata. They won the first leg 2-1, with both goals coming from Hernan Barcos. The win at home in the first leg was enough to secure the title after both teams drew the second leg 0-0. Liga became the third team to win back-to-back Recopa Sudamericanas. Colors and badge. Historically, Liga's badge consisted of a large red capital letter U in the Courier typeface. This logo was used from 1950 to 1996. In 1997, the team adopted the current badge in use today. The red and blue colors in the inverted triangle are those from the flag of the city of Quito. For a number of years, the badge had blue stars on the top, one for each national championship. This was discontinued in the mid-2000s. After the success in international club football, the club began to add gold stars to the top of the badge for each international trophy won. To date, there are 4 gold stars. As indicated by the nickname, Los Albos, Liga's kit is historically all white, with the team's crest over the left breast. The current alternate kit is dark blue with light blue detailing. Previous alternate kits for the domestic tournament varied in color from red, orange, gray, black, and gold. Past alternate for international tournaments were black with red detailing. During 2008, special kits were worn for the Copa Sudamericana and the 2008 FIFA Club World Cup. Umbro is the team's kit provider, and American credit card company Diners Club International is the team's current shirt sponsor since 2011. Coca-Cola and Chevrolet are also sponsors. Stadium. Liga has used 4 stadiums for their home stadium. The first stadium was Estadio Universitario CE Quito-They Aníbal Espinosa, on the grounds of the Universidad Central del Ecuador. In 1932, Liga moved to Estadio L.D.U, where a number of other teams in Quito used as a home ground. In 1962, Liga moved to Estadio Olímpico Atahualpa, along with a number of other teams from the city. They would use that stadium as a home ground until 1996. In 1997, L.D.U Quito inaugurated their own stadium, Estadio Casa Blanca, in the northern part of the city. It is the largest stadium in Quito in terms of capacity, and the second largest in Ecuador after the Estadio Monumental Banco Pichincha in Guayaquil. The stadium officially opened on March 5, 1997 in a match against Brazilian club Atlético Mineiro. Liga won the match 3-1. Since its inauguration, the Casa Blanca has been home to Liga's greatest period of success and is often unbeatable at the stadium. They have had 5 victory laps in the stadium since it was inaugurated, for 4 national titles and 1 international title. Interestingly, Barcelona, Ecuador's most popular and successful team nationally, has never defeated Liga in the new stadium. Supporters. L.D.U Quito is one of the most supported clubs in Ecuador. According to a recent study, Liga has the largest fan base of any team in Quito and the Sierra region of Ecuador, commanding 46% and 38% of the fan base, and the second largest in the country with 23% of supporters, respectively. Rivalries. L.D.U Quito has formed a number of footballing rivalries throughout its history. The longest-standing rivalry is with Aucas, a southern Quito club founded in 1945, making the two clubs the oldest in the city still in existence. Liga-Aucas matches are referred to as El Superclásico de Quito, and the rivalry traces its history back to the first match on February 1, 1945, which ended in a 1-1 tie. A second match, played on February 18, 1945, ended in a 2-2 draw. At the end of the 90 minutes, the game was 2-1. The timekeeper ended the match, but the referee did not notice, allowing the game to continue into extra time, where Aucas equalized the score. The Superclásico has not been played in official competitions since 2006, when Aucas was relegated to the Serie B. B. In the absence of intense rivalry with Aucas, Liga and its fans have developed a strong rivalry with Deportivo Quito. The Clásico Capitalino is now the most important game in Quito and is considered a must-win game of the season. In 2008 and 2009, the match had national championship implications that exacerbated the rivalry to a greater degree. L.D.U. Quito's most intense rivalry is with Barcelona SC, being the most important match in Ecuadorian club football. This encounter is known as the Clásico Nacional. Players. Current squad of Liga Deportiva Universitaria de Quito. Sources. Manager Alex Aguinaga. Notable players. Top scorers. L.D.U. Quito has had 6 players become the season top scorer in the Serie A. 5 players become the top scorer in the Campeonato Profesional Interandino. 3 players as the top scorer in the Copa Libertadores. 1 player become the top scorer in the Copa Sudamericana, and 1 player become the top scorer in the Copa CONMEBOL. The team's all-time top scorer is Jose Vicente Moreno, with 84 goals. World Cup players. The following players were chosen to represent their country at the FIFA World Cup while contracted to L.D.U. Quito. Managers. Noted managers. The following managers won at least 1 trophy when in charge of L.D.U. Quito. In addition to the first manager, Bolivar Leon, Ceuta Jaca Moscoso, Luis Vasquez, Roberto Alicio Ortega, Jose Gomez Nogueira, Roman Soto Vergara, Jose Maria Ocampo, Lionel Montoya, Polo Carrera, Paulo Massa, Manuel Pellegrini, Julio Assad, George Fossati, Juan Carlos Oblitas, Edgardo Borza. Honors. L.D.U. Quito is one of the most successful clubs in the history of Ecuadorian football, with 9 regional titles, 10 national titles, and 4 international titles. Liga won 3 amateur titles in the Interandino amateur era, tying them for 3rd overall with Gimnástica. In the Interandino's professional era, Liga won 6 titles, which makes them the most successful team. Nationally, the club has won 10 national titles, the last one in 2010. The national title count places them 4th overall behind Barcelona with 14 titles, El Nacional with 13 titles, and Emelec with 11. Liga is the Ecuadorian club who have won more international titles, with 4 of them. Regional Campeonato Amateur del Fútbol de Pichincha 1932, 1952, 1953. Campeonato Profesional Interandino, 1954, 1958, 1960, 1961, 1966, 1967. National Serie A 1969, 1974, 1975, 1990, 1998, 1999, 2003, 2005. Apertura 2007, 2010. Serie B 1974 E1 2001. International Copa Libertadores 2008. Copa Sudamericana, 2009. Recopa Sudamericana, 2009, 2010. Statistics. Note: all statistics are current as of the end of the last participation.